Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Centel NBA Live Bolton coming back at you with, iterations of current gen and next gen. So I want to take a look at two games. I'm going to actually take a look at NBA Live 2001, one of my favorite lives of all times, actually. 2004 being my favorite, 2003, 2010 being the runner-up, 2002, 2001 around in that category. And so, guys, hit the like, hit the sub button. And now this is what I want to talk about. Back then they made actually next true gen games for consoles, as far as sports games go, and NBA Live is one of them. NBA Live 2001 was pretty much the epitome of next gen, being from the PS1 version to the PS2 version, and we're going to take a look at those. But first, guys, I want to start off with like NBA Showdown and adolescence of basketball games, and before that, like Double Dribble, and games before that, but games like Showdown, as you can see, for video games, even for Madden franchises, FIFA, for you guys that play different sports games, they have an iteration, and then they stick with that iteration for about 6 to 7 to 8 years, maybe even 9 years. So Madden, I think it has pretty much the same engine from 2015 all the way up to like 2018. I think it got better, 19, 20, 20, when then the graphics started looking a little bit better, but pretty much the same. I mean, this Madden 22, 23, those Maddens look pretty good, actually. But back to NBA Live, when I look at Showdown 94, even NBA Live 95 on the Sega Genesis, that's what I played all of them on. So iteration of NBA Live 95 after Showdown, which turned to NBA Live later, actually. NBA Live 95, all those intros look good to me. I'm a sucker for all old intros, and so NBA Live 95 intro is amazing. I think I like NBA Live 96 intro. It's actually pretty good too, and so forth. Like 97 intro is good, but in those intros, it made you feel like, okay, it's getting better every year, actually. And so the graphics was pretty much the same. When you're young and you look at games, you want the new game, and so those intro being pretty good and the gameplay being pretty much mediocre and pretty much the same thing, it's like, okay, I played NBA Live 95. Let's see, is 96 going to be any different? They give you at least they gave you a different load up screen, and it felt like for a second, even if it wasn't a different game, it kind of felt like that to you. And because it's like you got a new game, it's like, oh, it's something new. And the main menu and stuff may look a little different, but pretty much the same gameplay. Maybe like a little bit different music in the background, but pretty much the same gameplay. And so when you got to NBA Live 97, you start seeing it look a little bit better in 98. Now this is on the Sega Genesis. This is the current gen. This is what I'm playing. I made a video about me playing the NBA Live 2001 on the PlayStation, and now that's what we're going to get to. But first, I want you guys to check out just some of these. Check out some of these younger and some of these earlier NBA Lives. They had this is great introduction work, I think, in my opinion. And so when you look at NBA Live 98, 97, and 96 on the Sega Genesis, all these intros is pretty much, these are pretty dope intros. And the last iteration of NBA Live on the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo would be around about 98. And then 99 would be on the, PlayStation and N64 versions, which would be next gen console at the time. But actually the PlayStation was, new in 96. So as you can see, they went for another look in 96 on the PlayStation version. The intros start looking like actual NBA players on NBA hardwood, and they would show videos of actual NBA players. Now, even though the intro looks good, we actually got a little bit better gameplay and graphics on these games. Even though you can look, and it came with the whole 3D thing, the Cyber Athlete, and the third dimension is what made it so much great and better than the previous titles, because the previous titles had NBA Live 95, 96, 97. They're pretty much on the Sega Genesis 2D, and you're pretty much going up and down shooting threes, up and down, up and down. You can go up to and go down, but it's no like third dimension effect in those games. And so in the iteration of NBA Live 97, NBA Live 96, actually on the Sega Genesis, no, on the PlayStation. Sorry, the PlayStation is what we're talking about now. You can see the dynamic of the 3-dimension of the arena and the panoramic, and it gives you that feel. Even when you select and see the controller, it even turns like a third dimension. That's what made next gen. This was the great about back then in video gaming. When you took a step, you took a major leap. And now the games look so good, the leap isn't that major, and it isn't as big as you would like it to be, because technology is catching up to what we have and the TVs and the platforms and what the consoles can do. And so in NBA Live 97, 98, and they got the same, well, actually Live 96 on the PlayStation looks way better, and it's third dimension, the gameplay, as far as the one's iteration on the Sega Genesis. But at about 98, you start seeing the face models of the NBA players. Now, they wouldn't show the face models of the actual video. They would show the face models of the actual characters that you will be playing with. And that's when you knew that, oh, okay, these models, the face models start actually looking like the characters. And the third dimension was coming in. And so, guys, let's take a look at the first iteration of true next gen on the original PlayStation. We're going to look at NBA Live 2001, and then we're going to look at NBA Live 2001 on next gen, which will be the PlayStation 2. But first, let's look at this beautiful NBA Live 2001 on current gen, which is going to be PlayStation. All right, this is the PlayStation version of NBA Live 2001. All right, guys, if you're here for the first time, I'd like for you to hit that like button, click the subscribe button, turn on all your bell notifications for all your retro gaming content, plus NBA Live content, plus next gen. And this would be next gen back then. So we're moving from the Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo era into the PlayStation era. And so the PlayStation is relatively new at this point, in 96 and so forth. Now look at the intro, just pay attention. It's next gen because of the production and what it's given us. It's given us a hot artist at the time, which is Montel Jordan, the #1 athlete in the NBA at the time. Kevin Garnett, one of the #1 athletes, is a cover athlete for NBA Live 2001. And not only just a cover athlete, I mean, they iterated the cyber version of him and the real version, and in Montel Jordan. And so in the intro, they introduced Kevin Garnett doing post moves and as him in the studio, and then they would put the the one that was in the video game. Now this is funny because how you gonna win? That's my favorite part, and it flips to the NBA Live 2001 sign, and then it flips all the way back to the EA Sports signs in the front. And so, guys, they integrated a lot of stuff back then in video games as far as next gen. And so these loading times was pretty much long because you're going from a cartridge to a compact disc, and the disc has more data on it to read. And so right here on the main screen, as you can see, exhibition season, playoffs, 3-point shootout, one-on-one with Michael Jordan. Don't pay attention to that. Pay attention to the next gen tactics, which would be the NBA Live logo being third dimensional and it turning and it's flipping. And so in the back behind Shaq, it's an ambient light sort of going from the under to the top, under to the top, as you can see. If you look in the stream, look in the middle of the screen, and you can see the little light source going up and over. You see that? And that's all next gen tactic, guys. And then it has a circle for the menu. Now I'm not going to hit the menu. I want to look at the demo mode, because most people don't realize it, but the demo mode, it actually showed you something great. It shows you what the game had to offer for its next gen, and I'll get to it once it goes to the demo mode. But the main screen is already next gen, and I just want to show y'all, even though this is demo mode, and even though this is it has the faces, the models, it has the weight, the height, how many years pro, and you can actually see their faces, you know. And even though the people are pixelated in the back, it's the crowd atmosphere that makes it truly next gen. I mean, and look at the floor, how he's walking up the floor. Look at his feet, and that circle is a shadow of actually his body, you know. And so on the side, the NBA sign, the glare on the NBA sign from the side, even the shot clock and the king sign that turns up, all that is truly next gen. You didn't have this on previous iterations of NBA Live or any other basketball game as far as that in the adolescence days in the Sega and the Super Nintendo. Certainly not the NES, you know. And so the back down mechanics and even the shoes, even though they're all the same generic shoes, it gives it a little flag. And they have 3 seconds in the key, you know. It's Bull's ball. And so it was go in and he would speed it up like a true point guard in the game, and he would back it up and he would pass it just like in a game. And even though the crowd is pixelated, but the crowd actually looks pretty good, and it's actually a little jitter movement. And so the back down and the pump fake, and he mixed the dunk. I mean, just take a look at this, guys, and you can listen to the audio and listen to the announcers, and you know, like White Chocolate passed it in, Chris Webb, all that, you know. Look at that, and the block and all of that. I mean, everything you see is next gen about this. And so this is the original PlayStation version, guys. And so, you know, as you can see, as the glare in the floor, the lights and the glare in the floor, and I mean, everything is next gen. This is, even though it's a demo mode, I'm not playing it, I just wanted to show you guys. Alright, guys and girls, we are back with NBA Live 2001 PlayStation 2 version, the nostalgic of the PlayStation 2. You know, I was an Xbox fan, but I must admit, PlayStation 2 had some gems, man. So guys, we're gonna get into this. Let's see here. I'm gonna put this up on my mic. No data, reading the disc. Alright, now don't be acting up like this. No data. Okay, enter. Alright, here we go. And so guys, this is NBA Live 2001, the next gen version, the PlayStation 2 logo popping up on the stream. And so guys, it's almost Christmas, a couple days before Christmas. Actually, it is Friday today. I'm making this video. And so yes, like I said before, you know, next gen back then. Now if you see the EA Sports logo, and I'm gonna go, it's the writing on the screen, you know, 99-2000 season. And so guys, the logos of the NBA, and it's nothing new, you know, far as the logos, and you're fixing to see the main intro, like here we go with Montel Jordan. And so it's still the same thing with the previous iteration in NBA Live 2001. So the original PlayStation version, PS1 and the PS2, nothing looks, you know, out of the ordinary or anything. Everything looks the same right now. But as we get into next gen, as you can see, the Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett things or whatever, and I was trying to look at that. Well, it's still the same thing, I guess. And so they're showing the mocap type thing with my boy Kevin Garnett. And so with the mocap, you can see the 3D animations with the cyber version of him too. And so guys, this is what I want to talk about. This is the first iteration in NBA Live that was truly next gen for its graphics. And so the player models actually, you know, kind of looked at like on the intro. And I'm gonna go to a demo mode again, guys, and I'm not going to actually, it's a memory card, and I'm not going to play it. I just want to talk as we go. But you know, it's Play Now Exhibition Seasons Playoffs 1-on-1 and inside the EA Sports. And so 2001 was, you know, it was that big leap on the PS2. That's why people bought the PS2, and it also had a DVD player, which I thought was magnificent. I wish the Dreamcast had did that, and then, you know, that's a whole nother video. We'll talk about that later. But you know, the modes, and right now you can see the joystick. I call it the joystick controller, whatever you want to call it, but it has direct pass to walk, turbo, you know, the stutter step, fake, face up, face down, I mean back down, spin, jump, shoot, hand check, and all that, you know. And so like I said, dude, the loading times on the PS2 was, I mean, they were, even the PS1, PS2, the Sega Saturn was terrible with load times. The Dreamcast, I don't know if it was, come to think of it, the Dreamcast was just real loud, I think. And I mean, all of them had loading times. But we went from cartridges to, you know, a compact disc, and compact disc had loading time. And then the N64 was, that's the only, I love the N64. They didn't have that much loading times on the N64. It was spontaneously just, you know. So guys, I hate this right here. They got the 60s All-Stars with the Portland Trail Blazers. Okay, but you know, we're not gonna, we're gonna look at the graphics. We're gonna look at the presentation of it. And so the glare's on the floor still. And so actually in the next gen version of PS2, there you can start seeing intros. Actually, just, man, these models look so good. Even the hardwood, and even, you know, the camera angle. I hate that camera angle right there. So guys, we're gonna look at Stoudemire. He's dribbling the ball. You can look at it. Even the ball rotating on his hand, if you can see it. And it's the little glitch. I hate that. Smith is dribbling. That's Steve Smith, man. He used to play for my Atlanta Hawks. Scottie Pippen, dog. Man, I love the 2000 teams. It's like you never knew who was on the team. Like, oh man, I remember when Dennis Rodman played for the Spurs, man. I was like, man. And let's go Rasheed Wallace. This is demo mode, dog. But y'all, look at the player models. Even the crowd, it was like really pixelated. You can start seeing their face in the crowd right now. I mean, everything looks pretty much, this is true next gen. This is what blew our mind when we put in NBA Live 2001 on the PS2. It was a big jump. And look at my boy Russell and Baylor and Chamberlain, Wilt Chamberlain, all those guys, man. And so, y'all, it's the backup hook shot, and the rebound. And I mean, look at it. It looks good. And the camera angles, you see, like I told y'all, demo mode shows what the game has to offer as far as camera angles, as far as the lighting. That lighting on the floor looks so good with the lights going down, and they're showing you right now. And so guys, I'm going to leave y'all with a little bit of gameplay. It's been your boy Centel NBA Live. I want y'all to hit that like button, click the subscribe button, turn on all your bell notifications for all your retro gaming content plus next gen content, guys. And so I hope y'all have a Merry Christmas. And I'm going to probably download this before Christmas or maybe on Christmas Day. Or upload it. I mean, not download it, upload it. All right, y'all. All right, later. Doggy dog.
Charlotte for tonight's exhibition game between the Toronto Raptors and the Charlotte Hornets. To Jackson. Oakley on the left side. Dishes off to Williamson. Gets it back out to Oakley. He puts up the clutch shot. Williamson makes the offensive rebound.
He attacked the glass there. Williamson wasn't boxed out well enough as the shot came off the rim. Got the rebound and put it back up for 2 points.
Davis in the post.
Antonio Davis. You're missing it.
Pass to Mashburn. He lets it fly.
Jamal
Mashburn with the two.
Mashburn.
Takes the jumper. Carter misfires. Williamson fakes him into the rafters. Campbell goes up. He comes up empty. Williamson collects the rebound. pass to Oakley. He shoots from the low post. Brown brings it down. Mashburn on the right side with a nice shot fake. At the half, the Raptors lead the Hornets 14-10.